Shalom. Giving all praises, all glory, honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This is the edition of GMS News and Prophecy. We have some major worldwide news that is transpiring. And it's continuing to escalate day by day, and by the hour. The world is continuously going on fire. 2024, the year of Jacob's trouble, is starting off with a bang and a boom. Okay. So what I have here from Euro News: German farmers descend on Berlin with tractors in protest against plans to scrap diesel tax break. So I'm going to deal with these different protests and things that are happening around the world. This is the last week, but it's been updated. The protest caps off a week-long demonstration against a plan to cut farmers' fuel subsidies. So it says German farmers are descending on Berlin today in protest against the plan to scrap tax breaks on diesel used in agriculture. Monday's demonstration caps off a week of protests across the country, which have caused major disruption in the coordinated action. Farmers drove their tractors on the highways, slip roads, and smaller roads, stopping traffic from getting through. Let's see. Protesters in front of the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin had signs attached to their tractors with signs like "No farmers, no future." Hey, that's true. If you can't farm the land, then there won't be no food. It says, where are the farmers' protests causing disruption? Around 3,000 tractors, 2,000 trucks, and 10,000 people are expected to descend on the German capital on Monday, January 15th. And I haven't seen anything yet, but if I see an article on that, I'll speak on it, Lord willing. Because that's, all of this is leading to what? It's leading to the uproars of the people, but also to these farmers continue to be oppressed, and that could lead to them, not being able to grow crops, which leads to what? Food shortages and famine. It says, with many gathering on the avenue leading to the Brandenburg Gate from Sunday evening. Let me see here. I want to see, right, okay, why are German farmers protesting? There was a similar protest in December when German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, unpopular three-party coalition, infuriated farmers by drawing up plans to abolish a car tax exemption for farming vehicles and the diesel tax breaks. The proposals were part of a package to fill a 17 billion euro hole in the 2024 budget. Last week, the government climbed down partially, saying that the car tax exemption would be retained and the cuts in the diesel tax break will be staggered over 3 years. So basically, they would get a break in having to pay heavy taxes for diesel fuel for their farming tractors and other tools, so they can continue to farm and they won't have to pay as much. But if they want to, abolish that exemption, then that means they have to pay more for fuel, and it's just going to cost more to get production done. So these farmers, these thousands of farmers in Germany said, you know what? We're taking it to our leaders. All of this is Bible prophecy. And it's usually, when you look up history, when you have people that riot against their government or protest and stand against their government, it's usually for taxation. Okay? Something to do with money. All right? Having to do with heavy taxation, heavy oppression to do with money, because people are already, having a hard time with making ends meet. Not just here in America and the States, but, overseas as well. Not just amongst Israelites, right? So-called black Spaniards and Native Americans, but also amongst the Edomites and these other nations around the world. So that leads to what? That leads to them standing up against their government. No farmer, no future. This the world we living in. Okay? Now this is dealing with Papua New Guinea. All right? Which says technical, this is from the register.gon, technical glitch in payroll software sparks riots in Papua New Guinea. I want to read that. So it says Papua New Guinea has implemented a 2-week state of emergency after failure to reconfigure the nation's payroll system for government employees sparked riots that resulted in multiple deaths. So like I said, money. When people can't pay for items, when people can't pay for medicine, food, housing, things like that, then people go crazy. Okay? Now, if people aren't getting paid and the system, this computer system that everybody trusts in, this internet, that's going to lead to what? That's going to lead to the MOTB, okay? Just say it right now. All of this, we can't get paid. They're going to introduce a system. They say, don't worry about it. We got a new system. Take this device in your hand or your forehead, and then everything will be okay. But situations like this are small runs and tests of things in these other countries. It's going to come over here, T. Okay? Well, it happened over here. Certain banks had shut down some months back over here. But this is what's going on over there in New Guinea. The Pacific nation recently extended the C-19 era tax reductions into 2024, but the payroll system used for government employees was not configured correctly, and in the first pay run of 2024 reverted to older and higher tax rates. Right, so you didn't get your tax, your correct paycheck. It says, and their pay packets were around $100 less than expected. $100. $100 is that much to get people to riot and cause multiple deaths, according to this article and what's going on. It says about half the pay for many employees. That situation was misinterpreted as a surprise tax hike, and some workers, including police, went on strike to protest the situation. Some saw the absence of law enforcement as an opportunity, and riots quickly spread across the city, accompanied by looting. And they're saying it's a technical glitch, and there was a loss of lives. So let me get this scripture. All right, let's go to the Apocrypha, right? The Apocrypha. All right, second Ezra. I'll get the 9th. You know what? Nah, I'll get the 15th chapter. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. 9 is good too, but I'm gonna read this. 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draws nigh." Which we're seeing that. We're seeing people dying left and right, wars, rumors of wars, skirmishes, battles happening. It says, "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And people are fighting against one another, whether they be law enforcement and farmers or your so-called blue-collar workers. It doesn't matter. Prophecy is being fulfilled. Verse 16, For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. Them farmers in Germany got on them tractors and invaded their cities' roads, blocking off traffic in protest. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the courts of their actions shall stand in their power. And Papua New Guinea, what happened? Law enforcement, police officers threw their badges down, went on strike. Government workers, the government took it to the government. For technical glitch, they say tax hike. Hey, I'll say one thing about what happened in 2020. That was a global event that changed the course of history forever, man. The whole world is still feeling the ramifications from what happened. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled. And this trouble is going to lead to Jeremiah 30th chapter and 7, Jacob's trouble, but it's also the trouble for Esau and these other nations as well. Because this whole system, this whole society, and all the countries around the world are going to be in trouble, and everything's going to be broken down. That's when there's going to have to be a new kingdom on the earth, all right? Because Esau's rulership of ruling the world through his banking system and his coalitions and his alliances and these countries that he's, conquered and set up, it has to go down. So trouble is coming to these cities. It says the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. If you can't get crops grown in Germany, and you can't export certain things, you can't export your sauerkraut, You can't export your German vehicles. Because if diesel's high for the farmers, it's high for the truckers. Oil was high because of what's going on with these battles in the Middle East right now. Okay? That's going to lead to higher prices on imports, because the exports, the people that's producing can't produce. And if the imports are a higher price, that means other things domestically is going to be a higher price, which is going to lead to people not having pity on them. There's a domino effect. And that's why the scriptures, the Holy Bible, is the most potent book, spiritually, historically, as far as knowledge is concerned, wisdom, understanding. It's the highest book of understanding out there. Okay? You can't defeat the scriptures and the prophecies. Everything is working hand in hand. And this is one thing that these Christians and these black countries, pro-black African, Pan-African, Egyptian believers, Ifa, Yoruba, Buddhist, Islamic believers can't wrap their hand around or even understand, because they don't speak about the future. Only the Holy Bible does. And it's happening before our eyes. All of these things are happening according to the word of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. That family has food over there. Oh, the government and their congressmen, they live in this neighborhood and they are hoarding food over there. They're good. So people are going to go into your houses with guns and whatever they have, weapons, and they're going to take what you got. It says, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Great tribulation is coming to the earth, not just for Jacob, but for everyone. For the lack of food, lack of money. All these things and all these articles, they all go hand in hand. Riots in Papua New Guinea, the farmers protesting in Germany, all these, and this is a global thing, man. Okay? So we're in that time, man, of these prophecies being fulfilled. Okay? But with that, all praises go to Yahweh, Bashmi Yahushai, Bashim Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Peace and blessings to 144,000, the rest of hopeful elect. I hope this is edifying. Shalom.